large language models on your PC, but also have instant access to the interface of these large language models, that I'm going through my YouTube playlist and I have a really large video. So let's say this is another one of those long but also informative videos. So there you go. What I typically also do is just copy this stuff on my Obsidian, so I have a quick access to this on my notes. But this is how the YouTube extract wisdom works. So for a quick demo, in order to open the Rofi script that shows me the selection, I just press Mod Shift A, which will bring me to the selection of what do I want to do. So either I want to chat with the AI or do a bunch of different things. So I'll just tap on chat. Now since my i3 config is set so that the terminal window is open in the scratchpad, I just do mod enter, and yeah, here it is. I have a terminal window where I can chat with an AI. So I'll just ask a quick question for demo. So I'd say what is system D, and this is purely offline, so the model answers quite fast, and I can read up the information and copy paste like I could do in the terminal, and I can also proceed the conversation. Hey, so today I'll show you how to not only host large language models on your PC, but also have instant access to the interface of these large language models on your PC really quickly. And I'll be using i3 as my window manager, Rofi as the place to interface, and just terminals to actually interface with the AI models. So for a quick demo, in order to open the Rofi script that shows me the selection, I just press Mod Shift A, which will bring me to the selection of what do I want to do. So either I want to chat with the AI or do a bunch of different things. So I'll just tap on chat. Now since my i3 config is set so that the terminal window is open in the scratchpad, I just do mod enter, and yeah, here it is. I have a terminal window where I can chat with an AI. So I'll just ask a quick question for demo. So I'd say what is system D, and this is purely offline, so the model answers quite fast, and I can read up the information and copy paste like I could do in the terminal, and I can also proceed the conversation. Once I'm done, obviously I can close the window. That's a normal conversational mode of the AI. Now there are a lot of other beneficial things that also come with this interface. So for example, let's assume if that I'm going through my YouTube playlist and I have a really large video. So typically Andrew Huberman's videos are really informative, but they are about 3-4 hours long, which is great, but I also might not have all that time at this moment. What I can do is right click, copy the address, go into my interface again, and I'll choose something called extract wisdom. What this will do is the AI will go through the video, extract the transcripts, and go through the transcripts, create notes of each and every section of that video. So if I bring up the interface, it goes through the videos and brings the important points down here. I can try and do the same with another video as well. So let's say this is another one of those long but also informative videos. So there you go. What I typically also do is just copy this stuff on my Obsidian, so I have a quick access to this on my notes. But this is how the YouTube extract wisdom works. Another awesome thing that I also have is the same thing but in article or blog format. So if this is an example of some kind of article that I'd read, pros and cons of Flutter app development. What I do is just copy the entire text, bring the interface again, and I could choose either extract wisdom of in the clipboard or summarize. Both are about the same. Extract wisdom just takes everything, also analyzes the facts and presents different things in a note sort of format so that you can sort of read through it quite
Seems like this
chronologically.
article is discussing the pros and cons of using Flutter for mobile app development, including its benefits such as 1. Single code base write code once and deploy across multiple platforms, saving time and effort in development.
Yeah, so that was quickly the summary of everything. I also have added a text to speech engine, so each and every time I hear or each and every time the AI responds, I can also hear the response, which you can go ahead and edit it to be not that way because it might not be intuitive each and every time. So this is a quick demo. Now on to the installation of all these different things. So to make this all work, we'll need a few things. To begin with, to actually go ahead and host large language models on our system, we would need something called Ollama. Ollama is an open source framework and also a backend that allows you to host these large language models quite easily on your Linux machines. Actually, Linux, Mac, Windows, or even you could host it on a Docker container as well. What I'd do is do a local install on Linux, which is quite easiest. All you need to do is copy this script and paste it. Now I've already installed Ollama on the PC, so I don't really need to install it. But once you go through the installation, and let me resize this window, what you can do is type Ollama and see if you can get a response. Now once you get a response, you can do a lot of things with this. To begin with, we'll need to make sure that we have at least one model that we can interface with. Obviously, if you just installed Ollama, you wouldn't have any model installed. So in order to get your desired model, what you can do is go to this models tab and you'll have all the open source models that you can use on your PC right here. You can also use ChatGPT's API key, which you can add in the config file of Ollama. But for me, I'm going to use an open source model. Now, what you can do is select any one of these models. Let's say, for example, I want to use Llama 3, and since Llama 3 is a small model, it should be quite faster for me to download it. All I'll need to do is just copy this ID, or let's see, yeah, just copy this and come back to your editor, say Ollama pull and Llama 3, and after Llama 3 I'd actually do a colon to select what parameter of a model do I want. So specifically for Llama 3, it's available in 8 billion, 70 billion parameters. What I'd do is I'd actually choose 8 billion because it's quite small and it could entirely fit on my GPU. Once I hit enter, it would just pull that model in. I already have Llama 3, so I wouldn't go ahead and execute this command. But once you complete this command, you can do Ollama, I figure it's list or something like that, and it would go ahead and list all the models that you have on your system. Okay, so in order to go ahead and start a chat with this model, you'd say Ollama run and whatever model that you want to chat with. So I'd say the model that we just downloaded, which was Llama 3, and it'll take some time for the first time to load, and hey, there we have Llama 3 just in the terminal with easy access. So that's the first thing that we wanted to install. Sorry, what I'll do is exit this. So I'd say exit or pipe in order to, something like that, in order to exit this. The second piece of software that we need is also open source, and it's called Fabric by Daniel. Fabric is an open source framework of different prompts which are called patterns, which are combined into one piece of software to give you access to different types of AIs. So for example, just like we saw a few minutes ago, if you wanted to take a summary of a video, you would use certain kind of prompts over the other. And if you want to, let's say, have a summary or extract wisdom from a blog article, you could use another prompt over other. So just quickly going through patterns, there are a lot of different prompts that we have. For example, there's this prompt called create a reading plan, which would have its own sort of thing. You can take guidance and author the name as an input and design a perfect 3-phase reading plan. So this for instance is a prompt just for creating a reading plan. So there are a lot of niche tasks that you can do with Fabric, and so you'd need to install this. It's also quite easy. By the way, I would highly advise you to go ahead and watch Chuck's video, because he goes quite in depth with Fabric and how you can use it to increase your productivity. But for now, let's see. What you will actually need to do is clone this Git repository. So I'd cd into my downloads and git clone, like such. Once you have cloned this, you'll need to go into the Fabric directory like so, and then it's simply following the instructions. So you'll need to install pipx and just run the setup using Fabric setup. That's it. So once this is done, we'll need to do two small things. Number one, we need to install something called xclip. Xclip will just allow you to copy and paste or access your clipboard right from your terminal, and this will be needed to run our script if you copy a YouTube link, or let's say some portion of an article or bunch of text that you want to be summarized. Once xclip is installed, we'll actually need to go ahead and create a YouTube API key. This is so that we can actually go ahead and fetch the transcripts of a YouTube video in order to transpile and summarize them. So what you need to do is go to Google Cloud Console and create a new project. So I just go here, new project. I'll just say test, and we are in a new project. So now I will search for YouTube API, and it should bring me the first result, which is v3. I'll just okay, so it's already enabled, so I should be in test. I'll again search for YouTube API, and I'll go ahead and enable this right here. Now while this is getting enabled, I can go ahead and create an API key. So should be able to do that somewhere here. Yeah, there you go. And I'll go to credentials, create credentials, or yeah, create credentials is right, API key. Yeah, there you go. This is the API key that you'll need to copy. Now the next thing that you will need to do is we need to go to the folder config Fabric, and we'll need to create a new file called .env, where we'll need to add a YouTube API key. This is something that we just copied, so I can just say something like that. So in order to test the API key, I'll try this command out. This goes like YT is the CLI interface that we are using, should get installed with Fabric -- transcript, because this will get the transcript of the link that we send it after this command, and I'll do a pipe, and then whatever transcript that you get, you will send that transcript to Fabric. And I have a few flags, stream, pattern, and this is what we need in pattern, which is extracting the wisdom. I'll just hit enter, and this should get the transcript and also summarize what we want, right? And so this is mostly it. Now on to the last few bits, actually creating the interface in order to open up and fire these commands properly. So in order to interface with these commands, I have written a quick and dirty Rofi script. So if you would have hit to config Rofi, there is a folder called scripts and specifically AI chat. So what this does is exactly what we tried a few minutes ago. It launches a Rofi panel with these different options, and depending upon what option is selected, the proper olama with fabric command is then deployed. So to start with, since I'm using this command is specifically for Kriti, but if you are using any other console, you can, or excuse me, terminal, you can comment things out, and if you're using something like console, then this is the command that you need to do. If you're using Kriti, then it has a separate command as well. So once that's done, this is just the selection text that you see over here, so there's no need to edit or modify this. However, you might want to comment the line 11 and 14 out. This is because these are some experimental features. The line 11 is so that the command actually speaks out the response that is sent by AI using something called Piper. It kind of works not well because the output is truncated after some time. I'm trying to fix that issue. Hopefully it gets fixed. You can see the update in my dot files that I'll be attaching in the description. Also, this is just for rendering the response of the AI in a well formatted markdown. I don't think we need this. Also, it doesn't work properly. Remember though, if you're commenting these things over here, you might also want to remove the occurrence of these. So here you might want to remove this entire line so that it actually executes the command properly, and same with the markdown renderer command. Anyways, so then we have the sub commands for the first selection, which is chat to AI. All we are doing is an olama run, and I'm running llama 3. You can obviously edit this to have another model working. For summarize, we are using xclip to read whatever you have copied in clipboard, and depending upon what you have copied, it pipes the output of your clipboard into this fabric command, which then summarizes whatever you copied, and then it just passes it into the markdown renderer and the TTS, which you might want to again comment out. It's the same for extract wisdom as well. It is just another prompt or another pattern, which is a bit different than summarize, and the same thing with YouTube as well. Rather than feeding the copied selection directly to fabric, we are actually passing the selection to the YouTube CLI, and since it will be an asynchronous command which will process the subtitles and feed it back to fabric, this is just an additional step that we are doing, and that's it. Hopefully everything works well. If it doesn't, feel free to comment down below, and also you can file all the dot files here in my repo, which is prahashbhat/dot files. You might only want to get the Rofi scripts from Rofi scripts and AI chat. Rest everything you can set it up. One last thing that I'm forgetting is in i3. So in config i3 and your i3 configuration, you might want to update your exec command so that on pressing mod shift A, you would bring the Rofi script. So this is how I've set that up quite quickly. Yeah, so this is the line. So I'm just binding the mod shift A with this script that I'm executing, and that should be everything. Awesome. Thank you.